nothing shy of absolutely horrendous. And you know what annoys me even more is that I actually rather like this game. I think this game is genuinely really fun to play. I think it does some things really well. I think maybe it might lack in some aspects, like the graphics and the environment textures, where other games do that kind of stuff good. But I think this game is just, it holds up so nicely as a driving game. I want nothing other than a game like this, with a dense city like this, which I can just drive around in. TDU will likely be my go-to game if I'm playing games in my spare time. I love this kind of game. So then it sucks even more that the launch of it was mishandled so catastrophically. I'm gonna keep this constructive. I'm not trying to burn a bridge here. I think KT did a really good job in the places where they did a really good job. Why the hell is this game always online? Now, the Crew Motorfest is also always online, so before I get a disingenuous attempt to tear down any argument by being, oh, well, you play the Crew and the Crew's always online, treat any argument I say for always online, treat that argument as doubling for the Crew Motorfest. However, at least the Crew Motorfest worked at launch. You couldn't play with your friends. Your friends would disappear over and over and over again, but that still happens in Motorfest. But that would require an online connection regardless. At least you could play the Crew on its own day one. Why is this game always online? When it just doesn't need to be. Neither does the Crew. Neither did the Crew 1. Neither did the Crew 2. Why are these games always online? It's useless, and it only causes mishaps like that has happened today. Look, I understand it's not a what is the phrase? It's not a AAA game. It's a AA game or a AA studio. Well, okay, make AA decisions then. Like actually doing servers that you can handle. Like actually doing a launch that you can handle. If you're a AA studio and that's what you're going based on, well, okay, do AA tactics. Like an offline version so people can immediately play the game regardless of the status of the online servers. You know what would have helped? Knowing the online servers to run? If they did a free beta, but no, they didn't. They did a beta for the higher paid people. And don't even get me started on that beta. That beta as well apparently was just like nothing new anyway. It was useless anyway, because there was barely anything new in that beta. It was barely anything extra to test, yet people were still using excuses like, oh, you know, but you know, it'll be fixed by launch or what. There's a whole lot of things that weren't fixed by launch, but I don't care, because I still think that this game is still pretty damn good in where it is good. I love the driving, I love the physics, I like the cars, the customization is unfortunate, stuff like that sucks, but I guess it's unavoidable at this budget. You know what's also, you know what is avoidable at this budget? The always online issue, because you just make it not that. That's only one thing that makes me think this was genuinely the worst launch of any racing game. Forza Motorsport included. Forza Motorsport ran. That game actually ran. Right? You could play it and the game sucked. The game sucked in many different ways. Forza Motorsport sucked. However, there was not the issue of the servers. There was not the issues of the codes. There was not the issue of this abhorrent marketing that happened. And again, I don't think that's an attack on KT. I am criticizing their actions, not them as a studio or as people. And I think if you were to in any way attack the developers, content creators, directly, personally, you are an abhorrent person. I am criticizing the actions here. And actions like the marketing, actions like the defenses of the game that just didn't play out now that the game is actually out, all of those are just so silly now, retrospectively. The Always Online was criticized, and one of the defenses for the Always Online was they could always patch it out later. That's not an excuse. I could stab you and say, well, you can always get medical help later. That's not an excuse to stab you. The Always Online should not have been a thing. It should not. This game should not have been Always Online, especially considering they clearly did not have the infrastructure to immediately host it. Immediately keep it stable. The game shuts down for what they said would be half an hour, and then shuts down more. Continues to be shut down for everyone. PlayStation had it, some of the worst. Xbox had it all right. PC, no one could really get on, but there was even more issues on PC. Because I'm not just going to randomly call this one of the worst racing game launches of all time. There was so many bigger, massive issues. One of those bigger, massive issues was the codes. I know a content creator who was supposed to get a code and then they just didn't send it. I know a content creator who had a code and couldn't access the game. These are for early access. I had a code that gave me the DLC but didn't give me the early access. I know a different content creator who had a code that gave him the early access but didn't give him the DLC. What a blunder on all accounts. Now, I know that this is a content creator specific issue, so I know that that doesn't really add to any of the public discussion when it comes to the things that this game did wrong on launch, but those are issues that did happen. The codes were a complete mess. In the 4 or 5 different configurations of messes that I described. Because the thing is, I'm more annoyed because it completely kicked in the balls this one idea that I had. I had been planning this for so long. I didn't say it because I didn't want anyone to potentially steal the idea, because I was looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to this. I wanted to have every road in TDU unlocked day 1. And I couldn't do that because first, I was denied the DLC. So I refunded the game and got a code. And then that code made it so I could not get on the game. And they did not fix that until many, many hours later. At which point, there was no point in continuing the thing that I wanted to do. This big achievement that I wanted to get, I know, boo-hoo, right? Look, I get it, boo-hoo. I wanted to do this and I couldn't in the end, whatever. I know, but I'm explaining why this just has me so much more annoyed than anything. And I think that the codes being such a mess, the servers being such a mess, the hit or miss of the game's quality, which people have said, a lot of people like the game. I like the game. I will be playing this game continuously. I may even do more videos on this game. I want to do more videos on this game. I have more ideas for this game. But none of that really matters when the launch was handled so horrifically. It has left an immeasurably sour taste. Undeniably. I don't know how you could ever argue that this is not, and I don't think anyone has. To be fair, no one has argued that this is not a catastrophic blunder. And I genuinely don't think I'm wrong in describing this as the worst launch of any racing game. When you couple in all the codes mixing up, when you couple in the always online issues, when you couple in the servers going down, when you couple in the constant delays and delays and delays and delays and delays, and this being the final release date, yet the game still being in an unfinished state. And I know that's paradoxical. I know saying the game's unfinished but being annoyed by the delays is something. Well, here's a simple idea. Don't give release dates. They did that once. They stopped giving a permanent release date. That helped because they could have just gone to work on the game. It would have been undeniable if the game was in a perfectly finished state. But we got stuff like 900-degree wheel rotation not coming at launch. We've got a bunch of other things not coming at launch. The game is undeniably unfinished in aspects. But that I hope no one was sat there going, oh, Sid's just over-exaggerating. The game isn't unfinished. What a load of nonsense. That this game was... This is the tornado of things that I think make this the worst racing game launch of all time. The server disconnects, the barely being able to do anything, the codes, the game being in an unfinished state, the game not handling the best, the graphics being abhorrent on console. Have you seen the graphics on console? It is a joke. Now, just in general, the environment isn't the best on TDU. It is not the best at all. With I'm about to catch it. The buildings looking like out of bounds in COD, and there's so many other things that make the graphics questionable. But I'm trying to find the screenshot. There's a screenshot of. Here we go. I found it. A look at an actual screenshot of the game on console. This was taken from Twitter. This is insane. Hang on, there we go. Now, what even? This is a game that people have paid £80 for. 80. That's insane. Look at it. Now, I saw someone say, I think it was, I think it was something like, it's the cars that are bad. But I mean, look at this wall. Look at the building in the background. Look at the trees. Look at the just the general environment. An £80 game. And again, these are genuine, just sort of like, you know, this clearly looks bad. This clearly does look bad, right? I'm not gonna sit here and go, these are the worst graphics I've ever seen. There is no game with worse graphics than this. No, it's the fact that there was these graphics, all the other things I talked about, compiling together to make what was the launch of TDU Solid Crown. And I think it undeniably, especially the way it screwed me over with what I wanted to do, I think this has left such a sour taste in mine and many people's mouths. And it sucks, because I like the gameplay. I like the driving. I like the way it feels on wheel. I think it's a good driving game. I love the map. The map is great if it was higher fidelity, texture, all of quality, all of that. I think the map is still great. But what a catastrophe of a launch. Holy. Could it get any worse? I don't think so. And obviously the reviews on Steam, I saw someone characterize the reviews on Steam as review bombing. Partially, as anything, sure. But I mean, you can see that the game... Review bombing bad. Review bombing bad. Full stop. The bits that are review bombed bad. However, there is clear negatives. I'm not going to sift through all the reviews and see if they actually outline all the negatives and stuff. But if it's always online, then yeah, that's a reason for a bad review. If it's the graphics, then yeah, that's a reason for a bad review. If it's the server stability, then yeah, that's a reason for a bad review. I don't think it's review bombing. Review bombing would be if you took an external factor, a factor outside of the game, and used that to drop bad reviews on the game, like what happened to The Crew. People took The Crew 1's shutdown to negatively review the quality of The Crew Motorfest. However, it's the quality of the Crew of TDU's experience that people are using to leave bad reviews on TDU. There may be review bombing, but that's not the review bombing you think it is. It's undeniably, I think they could turn this around. And I hope they do, because I don't know if I can really be bothered to do anything before Ibiza's added, which is in December. Cause holy, I may do a video here and there, but I don't think I'm gonna manage to jump back on this game for a while. I want to. If you want to see more TDU videos, let me know, cause I want to do TDU videos. It's just, I mean, when I got screwed over that hard, I hope you can understand why I am so hesitant to want to do more, you know? Like, I want to do it, but then I'm also... And that's where I stand on it. That's where I stand. Why was that launch so abhorrent? Why is the game this unfinished? I hope the best for TDU. I hope the best for the developers. I hope this doesn't burn the bridge, because again, I may have been really worked up here, but this was wholly intended to be fully constructive, and I would think and hope that I have done so. Thank you for watching. Summer Showcase, I'll be streaming it. That's about it. Alright. See you in a bit. Bye-bye. In a bit.